Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well out there. I just wanted to talk about money. Money's a big subject. It rules our lives. It causes complete destruction, or it causes complete uplifting in our lives. It's something that's essential to get where we need and get the things we need. And I want to talk about company driving because you don't make any money, and that's not even the reason I got into trucking. I got into trucking because I was a scientist for so many years and found out I couldn't do that job anymore. I couldn't do what I went to school for. So I decided, you know what, even though I was good at what I did and I made good money, I still wasn't happy. There was always something missing, and I didn't know what it was. And now that I was able to become a truck driver and to learn the ins and outs of how to maneuver and everything like that. Every time I have my hands on that wheel, it's like there's a part of my soul that is fulfilled. And even though I can't say I'm balling out of control or anything like that, I have everything that I need. And there's a few things. One of the big things when I was researching this industry is I wanted to know how much it was going to cost me to complete my training and what it was going to look like, that kind of picture. And I couldn't get any information on it. I got a lot of stuff about all these people making all this money and how they did it and do what they do, and every situation is different. Every person is different, and everything can't be mapped out or set up as a formula, because everybody's life is different. For me, when I went to trucking school, I did not have to pay for school. I got a grant through the county that I lived in, and I had no problem taking that grant, because yes, there are people paying taxes that want that money to go to good things, and yeah, there's probably people that maybe needed that money to eat or something, and sorry about that, but I've paid taxes since I was 18 years old. I've paid lots of taxes. I've been rich at one point and given the government hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, so I have no problem taking a $5,000 grant from the government and putting myself through school and trying to make a better life for myself. But like I said, when I was in trucking school, I was homeless, so I didn't have a rent payment or a mortgage. I had recently, I was definitely very ill coming up to that point, before I found out I couldn't work in my field anymore because I'm allergic to the solvents I had worked with for so many years. So health-wise, I was not in very good condition, but I was getting better and I knew it. So I set myself up for something that a lot of the things had been financially wiped out of my life. For example, like I said, I didn't have a rent payment. I was homeless. Obviously my car got repossessed when I couldn't make the payment anymore. And until they repossessed my car, I lived in my car. And then after that, I ended up in a homeless shelter. So when you don't have those big payments, like my rent payment was, my townhouse was $950 a month at one point, and then the apartment that I had was $700 a month, but my car payment was $580. So right there, that eliminates a lot of debt for me. But that's why I struggled through it, and I put myself through school. I got up every single day and said, I'm gonna get somewhere with this. I'm gonna sacrifice and get somewhere. This is really important to me. So when I got with a company and I didn't make any money, it still didn't matter to me, because I knew that I'm just coming into this and I want to have every available opportunity to know how to do it right and take the time. So the other thing, like I said, a lot of things were eliminated from my life. So, and that stuff all catches up to you eventually, but for right now, it was okay. For the time being, it was okay. And I saw it for that. Was really difficult, but I'm glad, because that gave me an advantage. I don't have a loan to pay back. I do not, right now I'm still considered homeless. I mean, I live with my brother whatever that's considered, but I don't have a rent payment. I don't have a car payment. It makes things a little bit more interesting when I want to do stuff, but it's okay. It's okay for me right now. I went during training. If you guys are trying to provide for a family while you're doing training, that's not going to happen. I made like $500 was my weekly pay, but once they took the taxes out, I made just a little bit over $300. And when you're living out of a truck, that's about how much it costs just to eat, or just to get your laundry done, or all the basics. So what I did was I was very careful with that $300. I was very smart about how long it was going to last me, which was great, because what happened was they had made a mistake and I went a whole month without a paycheck, because my temporary license, which was a paper license, expired. So I had to get back to my hometown and pick up my driver's license so that I could continue driving. So it messed up my finances, what I was living off of. I stretched that money as far as I could, and I knew that it would, I anticipated that. So the things that I would recommend, first of all, you're not going to make any money. It's not happening. You better have something set aside, something built up, and figure out a way to pay for, to pay for school without a loan, because then all these people are already up against, they're starting in the negative when they have to pay for a school loan. And if you can't pay for it out of pocket and you have to take a loan, I'm sorry about that, but that's going to set you back to start out. The next thing I would recommend is these companies, well, at least my company, what they do is they allow you to take advances out on your paycheck. They'll let you take up to $200 a week. And that was my whole paycheck. One thing I started from the beginning, I told myself, do not take any of these advances, because it's going to set you back for the following week. You have a bad week, you don't make any money, then what do? You get a paycheck that is in the negative. And they do that to you. They don't care. It's because then you're a slave to them. You're a slave to the loads they give you. You're a slave to where they put you. And you're just going to struggle to try to get back to that point. Don't do it. Do not take advances. It doesn't matter how painful it is or how much you think you need something. Figure out a way to go without it. There's two things with trucking that have to do with finances. Number one and two, you will spend more money when you make hasty purchases. So you're in a hurry all the time. You are desperate for the item that you need, because we don't have a lot of options when it comes to shopping. So what do? You got to buy it from a truck stop. They know that. They know that it's a desperation and you need it to keep on going. So we're always in a hurry and we're always desperate for the item that we're purchasing. So it's going to cost a lot more. So what you can do is plan ahead. Plan ahead. You can plan ahead, and if that doesn't work out, learn to live without it. See if you can live without that item that you think you need right at the moment. I mean, emergency situations are different, but I will do that. I will go without. If I walk in and I need Q-tips, they're $18 for a little package of them. I really think about it. I'm like, okay, well, Is there a possibility that I could get my hands on something that's more affordable? Is it something that I can live without? And yes, I went a whole month without a paycheck. I didn't go hungry. I didn't go without. I mean, I did go without, but not anything that I couldn't live without. So make sure that you plan ahead when you're, especially with training. Plan ahead. Learn to live without it. That's two things that will save you a lot of money. And then on top of that, like I said, don't take these advances. The other thing that's tricky. So, perfect example. I got set up for failure with this load that I'm on, and that's okay. I understand it happens. I'm not gonna hate on anybody, have any complaints, whatever. I don't like to do that. I don't like putting all that negative out, because then it just comes back. So my load got changed. I've been driving days, and they changed my appointment time from this morning until 10 o'clock tonight. So I've got to adjust my whole schedule. So that means that for 12 hours, I'm going to be sitting here. And for that 12 hours, what am I going to do? I'm going to be bored, right? So I'm going to want to spend money and pass the time. Yes. So not only am I not making money, next week is going to be in the dip. It's going to be going down. But I'm also going to be inclined to spend more money while I'm sitting here because I'm bored. Maybe I feel like eating everything that they have in the store. Bam, there I go. You know, I'm in the negative in two ways. Negative for my next paycheck, negative because I'm spending money. Don't do it. So those are a few good things to keep in mind if you want to get ahead. If you want, it takes a long time, but if you really care about that, it's going to happen. And I guarantee that it'll take 10 years, I don't care. They say, there's this saying that I once heard, and someone very rich said it. They said, take away my millions today, and in 10 years I'll be a millionaire again. Take away all my money, I'll be a millionaire again. And it's true. I've seen lots of money. I've had lots of money. I've been able to wake up in the morning and go, oh, it's Saturday. What do I feel like doing? You know what? I want to buy a new ATV. I really want a quad because I'm bored right now. Get in my bank account. Oh man, I only have $27,000, but that's enough to get what I want right now. Just silly stuff like that. That used to be my life. So what? It's not now. But take away my millions, I will be a millionaire again. I will do it. I will figure it out somehow. But it takes work and it takes patience. So those are my words of advice to everybody. Like I said, I'm not balling out of control, but I have the essentials. I'm obviously very, very nice and healthy, and for the most part, very happy, very, very satisfied with what is going on. That's why I don't get bent out of shape out of little tiny things, and that's why I have a sense of humor. And maybe in 5 years that won't happen. Maybe I will succumb to the bitterness of this industry, but that's fine. For right now, I'm not. So I hope that gives everybody a little insight, and I hope that's helpful. It's all about the attitude and how you conduct yourself, and it's all about the plans you make for yourself. So good luck, everybody. I really want nothing but success for everyone. And to Talon, Naveen, Avara, and Giovanni, Mommy loves you guys.